War. What is it good for? Apparently, for many countries around the world, it's good for a lot. And the proof is in just how much they are spending on their military. Certainly, well-equipped armed forces are important in society, but the numbers we're about to show you may just leave your jaw on the floor. After all, from 2019 to 2020, military spending was up 2.6% globally, to the tune of $2 trillion. It's time to look at what countries spend the most on their military, what that money is used for, and we'll even try to give you an idea of why they spend that much. The Stockholm International Peace Research Institute recently conducted a report on global military spending. They found that when you add up all the numbers, in 2020, globally, countries are spending nearly $2 trillion on their military. This number, believe it or not, is up from the previous year, 2019, by 2.6%. Basically, what we are saying is, we all take our military seriously. But who are the top spenders? Here's the stats. Coming in at the number one spot for highest military spending is the United States, with a colossal $778 billion. This number is huge. In fact, this amount accounts for 39% of the total global military expenditure. And this number also marks the third year in a row where the US's military spending has grown. By the looks of it, the US is poised to be the number one spot for quite some time. So just what in the heck is the United States spending $778 billion on? Well, to put it bluntly, a lot. But we'll give you the highlights. Much of the budget is allocated to research and development. And to expand on that even further, specifically the US has long-term research investments, including upgrading and modernizing their nuclear arsenal, as well as acquiring shiny new large-scale weapons. Percentage-wise, here is a look at how things broke down in 2019, so you can see exactly what is going where. 43% of the budget was spent on operation and maintenance, which includes training, planning, the military healthcare system, upkeep of weapons, and all that jazz. 24% is on military personnel. This means pay and retirement benefits for service members. 19% is on procurement, which means attaining new weapons. 13% on testing, research and evaluation, and finally, 1% is on military housing. It's a lot, we know. But we do have to hand it to the United States. They say that they care about having the best military in the world, and they are willing to invest the money so that is the case. So who is the number two country when it comes to military spending? That would be China. And their latest figures from 2020 come to an impressive $252 billion. This number is also an increase from 2019 by just about 1.9%. And we've got another impressive statistic for you. This number is a huge 76% increase on a 10-year timeline when you look at the stats from 2011 all the way to 2020. Basically, what we're saying is China cares about its military too, even if they aren't spending as much as the United States on theirs. And that number is slowly but surely growing as time goes on. So let's talk the numbers. Where is that money going, and just what is China investing their military budget on? Well, first of all, it's not such an easy question to answer. China's military spending is particularly hard to pinpoint because there is no detailed breakdown of, well, where the money is going. We really don't know the expenditure or the exact numbers of their money that goes into military-related outlays, such as the PAP, or the People's Armed Police. If you haven't heard of the PAP, it's a parliamentary police component of China's military that are under the command of the Central Military Commission, also known as the CMC. They are charged with law enforcement, internal security, and counterterrorism, just to name a few of their duties. The PAP's official budget is 179.78 billion yuan, or $28.5 billion. This was in 2019, but as we said, we really don't know for sure. Many foreign estimates clock China's military spending at higher than the reports that we have. Here's an example. In 2019, China reported their official defense budget to be just under $178 billion. But the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute estimates it to be closer to $261 billion. So it's tough to say. For sure, China is spending a lot. But exactly how much? We may never know. On to the number 3 spot. That title goes to none other than India. In 2020, India spent a massive $72.9 billion on all things military. And if you think that's a lot, well, first off, it is, but it's nothing compared to their 10-year plan, of which this number is not only a part of, but is right on track with. See, India has previously announced a $250 billion military budget over 10 years, from 2015 to 2025, with a focus on quite a few areas. They want to upgrade their battle tanks, fighter jets, submarines, and even their armored vehicles. However, it looks like this timeline may be difficult for India to keep due to recent budget restraints, as well as a recent focus on the local manufacture of defense assets. So, where else is India's budget allocated? Get this, the majority of the funds go towards the salaries of the 1.3 million serving personnel. It also goes to repairs and infrastructure development. Amit Kaushish, a consultant with the Manohar Parrikar Institute of Defense Studies and Analysis and former financial advisor to the Defense Ministry, has commented on the limitations of India's military budget. He stated, "The defense budget reflects the financial constraints faced by the government and the inescapability of spending on health and infrastructure to boost the economy." Well, who's at the number 4 spot? It's Russia, and they spent $61.7 billion in 2020 on their military. This number has shown a pretty gosh darn significant growth between the years 2010 and 2019, to the tune of a 30% increase. And if you look back at the growth since 2000, it's a massive 175% increase. So it seems Russia wants to invest in their military. But just what is the money going to? In Russia's case, certain areas definitely get more attention than others. For example, their nuclear forces have been a priority since the 2000s. Delivery systems have also been completely modernized. If we take a look from 2010 to 2019 again, 40% of their total military expenditure was on arms procurement, a percent that is higher than the entirety of the nations in NATO or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Don't get us wrong, they certainly invest in training and personnel, but it seems Russia wants the newest weapons available, and they are willing to put forth quite a bit of money to get them. Number 5 spot goes to the UK with a budget of 42.2 billion British pounds, which equates to 59.6 billion US dollars. Again, here is another budget that has grown since the previous year. To be exact, the growth was by 2 billion pounds. In the UK's case, the breakdown looks a little something like this. Service personnel receives the most funding with 26.5% of the budget. Next is equipment support at 18.7%. Specialist military equipment accounts for 15.6%, and infrastructure is at 11.2%. Hey, it's no wonder the UK has one of the finest militaries on the planet. They really seem to know what they are doing. Here's one bonus country for you. It's Saudi Arabia in 6th place with $57.5 billion spent on their military. With Saudi Arabia, a huge allocation of their budget goes to the Saudi Armed Forces, Royal Guard, R&D, and training. But a recent huge achievement includes the initiation of construction of facilities at King Salman Air Base, which marks the start of a 10-year upgrade plan. And that's it for the top spending countries with regards to their military. But hey, have you ever wondered if there are countries that spend nothing on their military? Oh, there are. 31 countries have no military budget, according to the CIA Factbook. Here's just a few of them: Costa Rica, Morocco, Greenland, Iceland, Panama, and San Marino. We'll see you next time, right here on The Richest.